Good morning, guys. Welcome to my Flosstube. My name is Emily. I am here to talk about my cross stitch. Just brush my hair and it looks messy to me. Anyway, yeah, it's been 9 days since I've made a video. It is now August the 13th, Tuesday, 8:20 in the morning. I have got the week off work. Yay. I did early on Saturday and I've been off since then. I finished at 12 on, so it was an early finish as well, which was lovely. So I don't feel like I say it every time. Look, I'm just going to stop saying it. But I think I've been doing a lot of other things, but I probably have stitched quite a bit in the 9 days in between. I've got a few things to show you. I've got a few things to talk about. I'm going to talk about one thing straight away because I forgot, and I forgot to show you my dragon's eye last week. Oh, I've just annoyed Alexa. Hang on. Not Alexa, I put the jigger on. I put my Q snap down on my fire stick and pushed the blooming talk to Alexa button. No, thank you. I won't have her in the house. Anyway, right. So I forgot a few things, but my last video was super long. Thank you to anyone who watched my video and went and ordered some stuff from me. Today is my do everything day, so I will be getting a lot of things sorted out. I've posted quite a lot already. Some of them is going to take a bit more packaging, so I'll get onto that today, and hopefully by the end of the day all my orders should be showing dispatched. That's my plan for today after I get my video done. Today is my do things day. Okay, the thing I meant to talk about. Now, when I pulled out my Bountiful bookshelf a couple of months ago, I might have wombled on a bit about it, saying, I wish there was a max colour version. Oh, if only I'd known back then. I probably wouldn't have stitched it on 18 count. I probably wouldn't have done the standard version. Well, while I was perusing the Facebook groups, which is the only thing I use Facebook for, is to look at cross stitch, new releases, there was Bountiful bookshelf, and I thought, well, that's already out. So I looked at it, and sure enough, a max colour standard size has come out, which is amazing. So, and I'm going to put up two pictures here. Here is the version I am stitching, which has got all the little post-it cards with little quotes, and doing the standard colour version, I even think I might have commented that I was worried that we weren't going to be able to read what these bits of paper said. And to be honest, didn't like the bits of paper. Now the version she's released, max colour, thank you Amy Stewart and Michelle at Heaven and Earth Designs, is this. Not only is it max colour, it doesn't have the bits of paper that I didn't want to stitch on it. So here's what I did. Turns out her husband's just turned 50, so she was having a birthday sale. I don't know if it's still on, it's probably finished now. Just luck of the draw, I went on the website. I remembered about it. I went on Heaven and Earth. I have to try and avoid Heaven and Earth because obviously we all have enough Hades to last us forever. And I searched Bountiful bookshelf and I found supersize this, supersize that, the version I'm already stitching, and then I found the standard size max colour version, and I was like, and it was $9. And I went and put it in my basket and I went to check it out. I checked, it's 700 by 500, exactly the same size as the one I'm stitching. So I checked it out, and I still had $7.50 in my, I was given a couple of years ago, I was given a substantial gift card for Heaven and Earth Designs for Christmas, and I didn't realise I still had a little bit of credit on it, like $7.50, and I was like, oh my god, I paid £1.63, so $1.50 or something. It was literally that little. It went through my PayPal as $1.63, £1.63 with the conversion and the fee and that, for the max colour version without the little bits of paper. So, got that. Feel brilliant. Now I've got a question. Do I restart the version that I prefer on a smaller count fabric, which I prefer? Or do I try a sneaky trick? So obviously, I'm going to try a sneaky trick. I'm stitching it on 18 count, but I love the pattern. I love it twice as much without the little bits of post-it notes with the little quotes on it. I just do. I just love the books by themselves. It is astonishing. The other bookshelves I'm stitching have got lots of other bits and pieces. This is just pure books. It's books facing this way and it's spines. That's all that's on it. There's no creatures on it. There's no little scenes in it. There's no flowers. There's nothing. It's just a bookshelf and I love it. So I put the new version into Pattern Keeper. Obviously, no issue at all doing that. And then, because my Bountiful bookshelf is at, after I worked on it and finished Cinderella and the book spine next door to it, I left it at 10.5% maybe. I've got my book, but I don't know if I've written in an up-to-date amount. And I thought, right, it's a 10th done. I'm not restarting it. I'm going to carry on an 18 count. And I thought, I wonder. So I exported my progress from the standard size normal colour version and I imported it into the standard size max colour version and it worked. So from now on I can stitch it max colour, and I didn't think it was going to work. It is just overlaid the colours I've currently stitched on top of the symbols underneath, and the symbols I haven't marked as stitched are max colour. I know this because there's 200, the list of DMC is 240 something long. So I'm now stitching, I've converted it only because it's exactly the same size, it's exactly the same pattern, and it doesn't matter now if the symbols are different because the DMC colours will be the same. It's not, I can't see how it's going to be a problem. I haven't pulled it out to stitch on yet because it's still quite fresh. I'm not quite ready to go back to stitching on it right now, this minute. I've got some other things I'm working on at the moment. But when I pull it out, I'm going to pick up where I left off and we're going to see if it's okay. And I think it's going to be okay. And I can carry on from now on. The 2 full books and all the book spines I've done so far, 10% of it isn't max colour. But the detail going forwards should be better because with the max colour you get all the little nuances of shade. You get little tiny, it's just tiny differences. But it brings the picture into focus a little bit better. Yes, max size, super size would have been brilliant, but I literally have room in my life for one super size project and it is all encompassing. So I meant to talk about it last week because I did this last week. It was last week I did it, but of course I got waylaid with 1,000 other things. So that's what I've done. So the next time I pull out, here's where my progress currently is. I may as well put a picture up at 10.5%. I will, going forwards, we're going to max colour it and we'll see how we get on. And I am thrilled, and I've got the version I wanted that wasn't out. It wasn't available. I trawled and trawled and trawled and checked, and last time I stitched on it I even said, I'm sure I did, I'm not going to go back and watch my own copy video and find out, but I'm sure I said I wish it didn't have these little bits of paper and I don't think we're going to be able to read the words on them and their famous quotes, and it's a load of cream stitches that I just don't want to stitch. And it's gone. I don't have to stitch those. I can just stitch the full books in all their colourful beauty. So I did that last week. And didn't tell you because I got waylaid. And the other thing I didn't show you last week was my dragon eye, which was, I did a little bit more stitching when Nancy was asleep on. So when I gathered all my, oh my God, Nancy was asleep on it. It was so hairy. So when I gathered up all my pieces to show in my Flosstube, of course I couldn't see this because it was under Nancy. So my dragon's eye looks like this finished. I dyed a crazy fabric up for it, which I'm still insanely pleased with, and I'm sure I should be a famous fabric dyer, because look, I did one piece of crazy fabric. I've got several bits of crazy fabric. I'm not yet going to buy white fabric and dye it yet, but I really do love getting effects on fabric that I'm trying to get. This actually turned out pretty close to what I was going for, so I'm still really pleased with it. Okay, so last time I showed it, it looked like this and was at 2.7%. It's now at 3.47% and it looks like this. So I have done a fair bit on it, and I should have really shown it, but I just didn't remember to. So there we go. So that's my dragon's eye catch up. It's going to cover an awful lot of this fabric right to the edge of, I've got like a 2-inch border at the top and bottom, and this side's got more. This side's got more, but then me being me, it'll go in a square frame, and I'll harvest a sliver and put something else on that, won't I? Because that's me, that's how I roll. So we've got almost a whole eyeball, literally missing some 823 and some 939, I think, which I've used all up. Getting there, but I forgot to show you that. So since I filmed last time, actually catching up onto what we did, I've got what the cat saw. I've had to take it out of the little hoop. I am a rubbishy hoop stitcher. Honestly, I'm hopeless. I really can't stitch in hoops. So I've taken it out, and now I'm just stitching it in hand. And last time I filmed it looked like this. This is a Lola Crow, what the cat saw. It's one of her really small, really easy little patterns. It's still full coverage. I long to do lots of other Lola Crow patterns, but I'm going to temper my cool me jets for a bit. So now it looks like this. I have indeed made it across the corner. I've also gone up this side here, just 2 stitches, 2 lines of stitching up this side here. So little Eric is coming along. Eric's here. He's come on holiday. If Flora gets up while I'm recording, I'm sure she'll bring me Eric. He's currently asleep on her. She's wearing a bobble hat in bed because he chews hair. So she's solutionised by putting a bobble hat on. And Eric's in with Flora. He's come, we picked him up last night. He's come for a little holiday. I'm putting a picture up here of him in the car. Observe the cat. He's mega stressed out in the car. But it turns out it's the cat box. So it doesn't take very long to get from my parents' house to here, and he sat on Flora's lap throughout. Very, very well behaved. And one time he went wriggly, we put him back in the box and he had a nervous breakdown. So that's how we can transport Eric. But it's only going to be once or twice a year. We bring him down for a couple of days. We'll take him back on Friday when my parents get back. They're just taking the opportunity because I'm off this week. Robin, Austin's dad, is off this week, so they don't need to have Austin while he works. So they've booked a couple of days away to get away themselves for a few days. So Eric's come to stay with us. And he's been here before, you've seen him here before, and he came in and he said hello to everybody and had some food, sat by the door going, can you take me back now? Can you just take me back to Grandma's? I want to live at he wants to live at Grandma's. Take me back to Grandma's. But when Flora went to bed, she took him to bed with her, and he's been in with her all night, all cuddly. I fed him this morning. I fed him and Cosmo together this morning, and Nancy and Sid together in the kitchen, and Cosmo and Eric together in the Flora lives in the granny annex. It was the garage and the utility room, and now it's a granny annex. So we feed them and shut the door because otherwise Cosmo eats everybody's food. So and Eric's higher in the ranking than Cosmo, so Cosmo doesn't bully Eric at all. Eric just goes, no, not happening. You can just go away, weird cat with the weird thing around your neck. Just get out of my sight, go away. And Cosmo goes, okay then. Eric ranks a little higher than Cosmo. Otherwise, I possibly couldn't have him here because it would be more difficult. The older cats don't mind. They're just old cats. They just shrug their shoulders and carry on and go to their places. And I've got Sid sleeping by my sewing machine. I've got Nancy on the table on my fabric. It's how it works. Anyway, so I've done a bit on that. The next thing I'm going to show you is my cheapy Chinese kit of the Spirited Away Sea Dragon, which I have done some on, and I'm fair liking it, you know. It's not that bad. Looked like this the last time I filmed, and it looks like I haven't moved the Q-snap since I filmed last. It looks like this now. So I've put in the 2 shades of mint in here in the dragon. So I think the dragon is completed right up to the top. He's not, but that bit is, and there's this is all dragon as well here, but this piece of the dragon is done. And currently I put in, I think, 3 strands yesterday. I'm just filling in the background here, and I've done this colour, this 12, which is 792, which I've got a huge chunk of, right down to the bottom here. So this is the blue, so I'm just going to fill in the blue here to where it's finished. I might do some bottom this week. I might not move the Q-snap, and I might just do some bits of the bottom here. I think I'm going to keep at this one till it's done. I have started a Merida one, but I put her away. I didn't really get into it. I did a bit. There's an awful lot of solid background 939 on that one, but not too bad. And I mean, you can see what it is. You know, up on the wall, you'll be able to see what it is. But it's easy peasy. It's do nothing, don't need to look at it stitching. Right, Gone to Pieces, I picked up. I think I'm in my 2nd week of stitching on Gone to Pieces. I can't quite remember where I was last week. I think I just picked it up. Oh yes, I didn't know what my percentage was. I said I was going to put it up on the screen. Anyway, it looked like this last week, and I don't think I'd done any stitching on it. I think I'd just pulled it out ready, hadn't I? It's now at 24.35%, and it looks like this now. So that's nearly a quarter of it done. There's only 2 jigsaw pieces. It only comes to about, is that the side? That might actually be the side there. It's kind of a little one for her, but it's mostly full coverage, but really truly it's possibly just full coverage. So I stitched the rest of the back half of this fox. The front half was done. I've stitched the back half of the fox. I've put in a few lengths of this very, very pale mauve to fill in a bit more of this jigsaw piece, and I've done a little bit of the down under blues here and a little bit of this very, very pale, it's cream and baby pink and apricot and lemon, really, the colours in that. I'm looking for them. Here they are. This colour here. So I've basically put in a little bit of these 2 colours and done some down under blues. So this is my colourway for my Gone to Pieces. They're all silks. I use 1 strand full cross on 36 count even weave there. A couple more to show you. My Shores of Hawk Run hollow block are coming along okay. I'll just pull the pattern out of it, and I said I'd do a bit of the house so that I could show you what colours I chose to do the house. So I've done a bit of the house to show you what colours I'm using for the house. And the last time I recorded, it looked like this. I think I just had the outline of the door. I'd done the inside of the door, I think. And this time it looks like this. So I've done about a quarter of the house. I've got the first window in with its shutters, and I like it. The colours I've chosen are, there we go. They're okay. I'm using all over dies. So I've got, for the outside the door frames and the window frames, and quite a bit of the roof and the railings and the chimneys, I'm using a colour and cotton called Aztec. So I've got Aztec there. And then for the pointing, I picked Classic Colourworks Sugared Violet. And for the doorway and the windows and the roof, I've got Espresso, which is colour and cotton as well. So those were my dark bits of the house. And then for the brickwork, there's 4 different colours to go in the brickwork. I've got, yeah, I'll just arrange them up here. Obviously I've got bits of thread everywhere as usual because it's me. Is there 3 or is there 4? No, I've got 2 of those. I've got 2 skeins of that one. There's 3 colours for the brickwork, for which I picked Tiramisu, Picture Perfect and Arrowhead. So the week's dye work is Arrowhead. Picture Perfect is a Classic Colourworks, and Tiramisu is a colour and cotton. I've just dropped the Espresso, and I just thought they were all kind of tony together-y. And then I picked out those, and then I needed another and that one, and they all went quite nicely together. This one here is possibly a little bit peachy bright, but I kind of like them. And then I realised I needed another symbol, and I needed it, and it was all the pointing. So I just picked up a mauve. I picked up Sugared Violets, and I thought that would be really pretty to sort of tie them all together. So I'm really happy with my colours there. I thought there was an extra one, but I've just got another skein of Arrowhead there. So I'm going to carry on with this for another little bit, because I like to do a block a year. So I really want to keep it out so that I'm nearly there. If I do put it away, I'll be nearly there if I have to pull it out later in the year, as it were. So there we go. So the house, her head comes right up to here. The head of the lady in the picture is there between the words. So the house is substantial because she is standing on the house. So the house is going to fill this here, quite a big chunk. And then there's the rest of the grass. Then there's another colour and some railings, and then sailboats, and then like a piece of sea, and then some sailboats, and then 2 big like daisy patterns in the sky. And I'll figure those out as I go. But that's where I've got to on that, and I think I've made a reasonable bit of progress on that one. It's so easy to stitch. I just need a highlighter pen, because that's old paper pattern. Now I am sadly lagging behind on my treasure hunt bookshelf. I'm only at, well, I'm at 0.098 or something. I'm not even quite at 0.1, and we're already halfway through the month. So no change there for me. I'm doing a big chunk of black at the moment, so that will eat up a good chunk of stitches, but I'll definitely do some today. I'm going to try and put 1,000 stitches into this today. It'll mostly be black. I have ordered 4 DMC, all in Cinderella, all that I do not own. 2 mint greens, a green, and like a yellowy colour, I think. So last time I recorded, she looked like this. I've not moved the Q-snap. I am working on the picture that Cinderella is in. She now looks like this. Very little change. I think very little change at all. Well, it's like 700 stitches change, so not much. And I'm currently working here. This is all, there's a big chunk of black here. So I'm working on this big chunk of black, and then this is all very dark too. So I'm going to try and get a good chunk of stitches here, And then when my colours arrive, I'm going to fill in the rest of her and get her really boxed off. But she's at a standy stop because I don't actually own the DMC. So I've got a bit of stitching to do on her, which I will get done this week. I'll do some good stitching this week. And that's it for my stitching. I will have a new start. It was my birthday on Sunday. I am now 48, so 2 years away from 50. And I'm going to really try not to do 50 starts in 2 years' time. I need to do something though, so I'm going to think about that. I've got 2 years to think about that. What I have been busy doing is this little box is full. I made some more sheep. I used up the cane because obviously the sheep's wool is a cane. So I made as many sheeps as the cane would allow me. I think there's 5 or 6 in there. There's 6 I can see, so it's probably 6. So I made another 6 sheep because I love them and they sold very quickly. So they'll be going on my Etsy. And then I tried something completely new and tried making the rose quartzy type thing. I'll pull out a couple of good examples. I tried it twice. The first time I did it wrong, but it's still beautiful. And then the second time it was very much better. Flora helped me the second time, where it turned out very much better. So the idea of this is that you use translucent clay and paint and sparkles, and you try and make it look like polished stone. Now they are all, if you hold them up to the light, they are see-through. So these were the first batch, and as you can see there, you can see my finger clearly moving behind them. They are clear. So they do look sort of like a sliver of stone, but when you put resin on them, they really do pop very nicely. And I've put some sequins in there, obviously, the sparkles. These, the first few, are ready to go. So I made quite a few. It's a different kind of colourway. I'm trying to find the same colourway to show you. I've resined up a few. I'll show you the ones I've resined. And then my second batch actually worked a whole lot better. So you see these are very much prettier. And then we did little ones. These will be sets. So we decided that we love the dinky cutters, me and Flora. So we made a star and we made a moon. So these will get a resin coating. They won't all get sequins in. The ones that I think are a bit dull and need a bit of pop will have a few sparklies set in them. But these will be like a pair. So they'll be sold together. There's little sets of them. And then some of them, they're just here. The ones that we really like came out really very well. I've resined both sides of those. I've domed them both sides, and we're going to make little pendants with those. So I've done a few of the really pretty ones. I've resined both sides. That one is quite stony. It's like a little slice of some sort of agate with all the little colourful fractures in it. But this is handmade. These are not stone, these are polymer clay. And it's a really fun process. It's super messy. Oh my god, it's super messy. My hands, I still have, this is not a dirty fingernail. This is I can't quite get that off, and now it's got resin under it on my fingernail. I'm gonna have to like file that off. Not sure what it is. It's some sort of paint and glitter, and it's got chameleon glitter on it. Yeah. So I found, this is from my first ever batch of swirls, one of my very old needle minders that I'd never put the I'd never resined. So there's one, and what I've done is I've put the chameleon onto the polymer clay. I've put the chameleon mica powder, so it does have like an iridescent shimmer to it under the resin. Obviously nothing's going to come off on your work. So he is an original. I found him in amongst some old stuff. So he is now sorted out. One of my originals. He's Nightmare Before Christmas for some reason. I don't know why I see that swirl and I just think of Nightmare Before Christmas. And then there's ready to go. We'll be going up in Etsy. A few of these little agate. They've got some sparkles in them just to catch the light. And then there's that one doesn't, because I think that one's pretty enough without it. And then that pink one there has sparkles in it. And then I tried a cutter. I actually cut my leg. I work polymer clay onto sheets of glass, and I acquired some big pieces of glass when I left Winged Heart. Remember the place I used to do the painting? It was all getting thrown in the bin, so I said, well, why are we throwing that one? Can I take them? And the woman who cut the glass went, oh, it's going in the bin. So I took one pack of big sheets, which I'm slowly using for polymer clay. I had it on my lap and I was trying to cut out. I broke the glass onto my lap. I got a few little cuts on my leg, but nothing deep, nothing dangerous. It made a more frightening noise, to be fair. Anyway, I have this sea turtle cutter and I've never used it before. So I did do some of these stone looking sea turtles. So because he's big for a needle minder for me, I put a big magnet on the back of him. That's my normal size magnet back. For those of you who've got my needle minders, you can see how much bigger this magnet is. He is a big magnet because he's a big needle minder. Needle minders need big magnets. So he's ready to go, and I'm happy with them. And I've obviously got a lot to be getting on with because there's a lot in there, including the rainbows, which on balance, I don't think I've been tinkering with resining these. I think I'm just going to put magnets on these because I actually really love them as they are. So I just need to magnet them up. And also my Needle Minder of the Month Club are done and ready. There, already sitting there. They will be. I sent the invoices out yesterday. Almost everybody has paid almost immediately, which is amazing. But if you are in my Needle Minder Club and you haven't got you haven't seen the invoice yet, have a little look because I have sent it. They will be going out once I've organised my Etsy orders. I will send the needle minders, so they'll be going out this week while I'm off work for sure, because I've got the time to do it. And I'm really happy with these ones. These ones are me. They're my aesthetic. As soon as you open them, people who are in my Needle Minder Club, when you open your packet, you'll go, oh yes, this is one of Emily's. It's obviously one of mine. It's not, they're special because they're a completely different. I literally bought four blocks of polymer clay and went, these are the colours I'm using. So I've made them specially, but they're me. You'll know as soon as you open them that they're me. Last month's, I've had pretty nice feedback for last month's, which was something different from me, not my usual stick. So I'm quite pleased with them. And yeah, so my new start, I jumped there from talking about it. I made an order. My parents always give me a little bit of money for my birthday, so I'd already filled my Wool Warehouse, which is an amazing online supplier in the UK for wool, yarn, knitting, accoutrements. They do fabric, but they do Ada by the meter, they do even weave by the meter, they do pre-cuts, they do kits, they do thread. They're basically a go-to, and you can always find a 10% off coupon somewhere online, and I did, and it works. Actually, I used an old one I've been using for 2 years and it still works. So bonus discount codes are great. I got nearly £10 off my order, so that was lovely. Yeah, I ordered a skein of lace weight yarn, or 2 skeins of Malabringo lace weight yarn, and 2 circular needles. I'm going to knit myself, I'm actually wearing a hand knit today. I'm going to knit myself a lace poncho, but when I start that, I'll show you that, because I do knit as well. I'm craving knitting. I want to knit. So I'm going to knit something I actually need to make. So I'll tell you about that when it arrives and I can show you it. I have also ordered the Sycamore Gap Bothy Threads kit. Is it Lucy Pittaway? I'm thinking, might be wrong. I'm recording on my Google at the moment, so I can't check right now. If I'm wrong, I'll put her name up. But I've ordered the Bothy kits of Sycamore Gap because it's such a shame, and it really was 5 miles from home for me before I moved down here. It was 5 miles from home, and I've driven past once and just gone, oh. So I ordered that because I wanted it, and I might kit it, or I might just do it something slightly smaller, because I found my other Bothy Threads kit, the 12 Days of Christmas, the Ada was big. It was like 14 count, I think. So if it comes 14, I might do it. If it's 16, I didn't even really check. If it's 16, I might do it. But if it's 14, I might make it 18, if you see what I mean. I'll see what it is when it arrives. So I've got that coming. So that will be a new start when it arrives, but it's like a birthday start, but I ordered it on my birthday, so I've got to wait for the postal system to chunk round. I think the only other thing to show you is my birthday present from Lizzie. And it's amazing. She did me a painting. Right. This is called, oh dear. Isn't it amazing? So Lizzie painted me this for my birthday. So it's just on a piece of MDF, but look, isn't she amazing? Lizzie's always had the knack for doing fabric, for painting fabric, but I'm gonna put her up on the wall. I'm gonna get like a little bit of trim, a little bit of wooden trim, and I'll make a little frame, because it's on a piece of board, and it's got all she's written is, oh dear. Isn't she amazing? There we go. That was my birthday present from Lizzie. So I'll get a little frame sorted for that. Just a bit of trim. I'll just buy a length of trim. So the only other thing, other than I've just shown you that, I've said that was the last thing, but my little otter stamp. Thank you for such lovely feedback, everybody. Absolutely amazing. This little guy is ripe for being rehomed. I'm going to do that, and I'm just going to turn my tablet on. I've got my tablet charged up ready, and we're going to go YouTube random comment picker. Is this the one I use, or is that the one I use? Can't remember. We'll find it in 2 seconds. I think it's this one. I'll post my link here. Paste. Fetch. I just did that wrong. Post my paste. Fetch. Keyword filter. Stamp. Continue. 75 comments. Thank you so much. Okay, can we see it? Oh, we can see a lot of the room. There we go. Ooh. It is Carol Oliver, 5768. Love the stamp. There we go, Carol. Carol Oliver. This is for you. This is yours. I'm going to take a screenshot of that. That's it. And I will send that to myself so that I know I've got it. this is yours. Now, to get in touch with me, several people have asked actually in the comments. They're saying they've got stamps or they've got a special stamp. If you message me on Instagram, I'm under my own name on Instagram, or email me at CraftieEmily@outlook.com. I'll put that up as well. It'll also be in the description box below. Just send me a message, just reach out and I'll give you my address and you send me your thing. If you've got a special stamp you want turned into a needle minder, just put it separate and we'll sort it out. Okay? Yeah, I love that sort of thing. So that's no problem at all. And Carol, equally, message me either on Instagram or send me an email and I'll get that little otter to you. And I am getting quite close to 3,000 subscribers. I'm currently, open my YouTube studio. I am at 2,941. I am currently at. So I'm quite close to 3,000, which for 4 years doing what I love is really lovely. So I will be doing a 3,000 subscriber giveaway. So if you're watching and you aren't subscribed, and you always watch me and you're not subscribed, because I am awful at this. I watch the same people all the time. And then I realise that they don't show up in my subscription list, you know, because I go there and see who's uploaded a video to watch. If they don't come up in my feed, I go and search and see who's there. And I realise that I'm watching people that I'm not subscribed to. So I'm trying to now make an effort to subscribe to people that I actually watch, because we're all guilty of it. So if you watch me and you aren't subscribed, subscribe, please, because then we'll get to 3,000 and I'll do a giveaway. And I'm going to do three things. I'm going to give away a kit that I've been sent with a do with this what you will. I'm going to give away a pattern that equally I've been sent, and I'm going to give away a handmade. Each thing will obviously have a little needle minder or something with it too, but it'll probably be a bag that I'll give away. So at 3,000 I'll have a little giveaway. So I'm not far off. I'm like 53 as of today off. And at the turn of the year, I think I was not even at 3,900. I think I was. So I've picked up quite a few this year. It's been quite good. It does do your ego good, I have to admit. Anyone who's a Flosstuber will understand that. You get a few subscribers and you're like, ooh, and then you lose one and you're like, oh, what did I do to piss them off? Why is that person unsubscribed? What did I do? Anyway, so that's about it for today. So mid-length for me. Everything's fine. I've got my day off work. I'm going to process this, put the pictures in, process it, and start doing my posting. It's not as easy as just packaging and popping it in an envelope. I have to do online customs forms, and I do a thing called drop and go, where I enter everything into the Royal Mail website, put it all in a bag and just take it to the post office and give it to them, rather than standing at the counter while they process everything. But I have to do all the process first, so it's the thing that makes me go, I don't want to do it. But today's the day and I'll get it all sorted out. So if you have an outstanding anything from me right now, it hopefully will be showing as dispatched by the end of the day. And the needle minders, I'll get this lot out of the way today, and then the needle minders, thank you very much for everyone who's paid my invoice so promptly. That's just epic. I still can't get over that I've got people that want to buy my things every month. It's wonderful. If you want to jump in on my Needle Minder of the Month club, that is brilliant. Just message me, Instagram, or send me an email. And if anybody doesn't really want to be in the Needle Minder club but fancies having some of them, I do have spares from the month that have passed. And I don't know whether to put them up on Etsy or whether to just every now and again say Does anyone want 3 months of my needle minders who isn't in the club, doesn't want to be committed to paying every month for something? And there's no commitment. Honestly, there's no commitment. If by the time I post out somebody hasn't paid, I'm just going to assume they don't. You don't even have to message me to say you want to skip. That's not a problem. Just ignore the email, ignore the invoice. That's all you need to do to unsubscribe. Is just ignore it. So it's cool. But I've already made these ones and I'm really happy with them. I wasn't at first, I wasn't sure, and then they got nicer and nicer and nicer as we went on. They got better and better, and I just got happier and happier with them. So, and now I absolutely love them. Right, I am done. I will go. I will see you in about a week, and yeah, I'll catch you later, guys. Thanks for watching me. Bye bye.